All right, guys. We have a special guest tonight. Chris Crane is joining us from
He's
what
back.
district? Yeah, we're hopefully we'll have some success because it was a little frustrating last time.
Yeah. So,
But
what district are you running?
I am running for state rep in the south end of Albuquerque, District 10.
District 10. Okay.
Yeah.
A Republican, I don't think has ever won ever. Um, uh, this could be the year. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. This is the year.
Yeah, I say it'll take a miracle, but we serve a God of miracles, so anything can happen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. He fed quite a few people with just a couple loaves of bread and some fishes, and they had leftovers, and everybody was full. Yeah. There's nothing he can't do.
So you're down there in the South Valley. So that means that what BMC Tacticals in your area?
Nope. That's a little
No.
bit farther north. I am the south sliver of Albuquerque. It's not just the South Valley. Actually, if you
Okay.
just go Gibson, south of Gibson, my district actually goes all the way up to Eubank. So it's a lot more than the South Valley.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, but
Yeah.
the
Steve
districts in the
Tafoya
state
has
are.
that. Huh?
There's not much south of Gibson up that high. so, um, so most of the people, they say South Valley because most of the voters, most of the people actually live in the South Valley. But there's a few houses up there. The Kirk Edition, University in Gibson, uh, the Air Force Base. I'm kind of curious about the Air Force Base, if those guys are voting. Anyone on the Air
Ooh.
Force Base, if that's their permanent address, they'd be in my district as well. But I'm not sure,
Depends on what
because a
side
lot
of
of
the
those guys
road it.
come out of town. So I don't know if they're able to vote or not.
Yeah,
That'd
but
be
depends on
interesting.
where the district ends because some of the base is on. It's bizarre if you've ever been on there. Yeah. So,
It's got a cool
well,
golf
that's
course.
Yeah.
yeah, they do. We did this runway expansion out there back 2018 by the place where they test they built this big ramp that has no nails in it that tests like the radioactivity or the radar section of airplanes out there. It was really cool. That place has a lot of neat stuff out there.
Yeah, it does.
Yep. The
Yeah.
airport is definitely in my district, but I don't know. We're not Democrats, so we don't have 1,000 people registered with the airport as their address. Although, Cody, that might be a good strategy. You just gave me an idea.
I go get a big white van and we'll start driving around.
Well, what we could do is we could just go to the airport and just everyone that gets off a plane, register them to vote at the airport address in District 10.
How did you get like
And
20 million voters?
yeah,
Airport.
How did you hand all these absentee ballots out all at one time?
I mean, whatever
That's
Sunport,
crazy.
I know the address is Sunport, whatever the number is, have 10,000 voters from whatever Sunport Avenue. And
Hey, this guy came in on a FedEx plane. What the hell?
yeah. Hey, man,
It's the
isn't that the way it's done now? Isn't that the way we do it? Oh, and if we want to go full Democrat, we can pay everyone $5 that gets off the plane so we can register them to vote at
and
Sunport.
gift cards. Don't forget the gift cards.
Yeah, like a Starbucks gift card, something like that. Yeah. This is the way
Here's a
it's
gift
done.
card. I'll just take it and buy you the coffee. Come on, I'll get you a coffee. Just fill out this form. No problem.
Yeah, it's
No
gonna
problem.
be great. Come on. You
And
like
the
coffee? I like.
The cool thing is about 7,000 votes will win in my district. So it'd be kind of funny if I had 17,000 votes. I don't think they could. That would be too big to rig for them.
And then
Oh,
Chris
man.
Crane, you have your podcast, The Big Guns.
Yeah. Just started it about a month ago. Um, I tried it. Well, of course, I'm doing it as marketing for my gun store, for my website, craneguns.com. So I was trying to think of kind of a double meaning, we talked about it earlier, big guns. It could be that.
Yeah.
But also
Whoa.
in the redneck arena, a big gun is kind of like the big kahuna or the boss or whatever. Um, and of course, I got lots of guns on my website. So I was kind of thinking of something, and not put myself in a box. So basically, the premise of the podcast is we interview people that are excellent at what they do. We do have a
Probably why
couple
I've,
celebrities. I
makes
just
sense
did
why I've never
Glenn
been
Kaiser.
invited. Yeah. So,
Say that
Cody's-
again, Cody.
You got to
makes
get
sense
closer
why
to
I've
the
never
mic.
been invited. Man.
But anyway, so I mean, we do have some celebrities, like Glenn Kaiser. Google him. I mean, he was the pioneer of Christian rock, and I'm a metalhead. I'm a rock guy. But he does everything. He does blues. He does praise and worship. He's just a fabulous musician, well-known guy. And next week is actually going to be Jay Schrader, the quarterback for the Raiders and for the Redskins back in the 80s, early 90s. So we do some celebrities, but we also do just normal people, weathermen, salesmen. This
Weatherman?
week had a guy, Ian Van Huna, the big gun of scheduling. He's like super coveted by these billion-dollar companies, to schedule the construction building on their projects. So,
Oh.
I mean, it can be anybody. I mean, if you're the best tortilla maker in the South Valley, I'll have you on. You know what I mean? So it's kind of there's no box that I'm putting myself into. We're going to get people from all walks of life, from all different things. And we just talk to them and find out, what makes them different and what makes them successful. And it's pretty interesting.
Have you had Corey on your podcast?
When Corey wins in District 26,
Sorry.
he will be the big gun of campaigning in an impossible district to win.
Well, he's the best chaplain I know. I mean, I can drop you a little letter of accommodation there or something there, boss.
Yeah.
Well, before I have Corey on, he's got to counsel me first. He's got to chaplain me first so I can vet him.
There we go.
Well, see, he's like, I don't know if that works for Corey, because normally if you meet him, you're dying. So
No,
probably why
not
he has a
always. Not
5-star
always
rating.
Everyone's dying to meet me.
It makes
as
sense why he has a
Boston chaplain,
5-star
but
rating
I do have
on the
Bald Advisor, which is for anybody that's not dying. And if you're dying, then I just do it too.
So yeah.
Thanks.
Couldn't resist that one.
Yeah,
It was like,
I think you would qualify, Corey, if you could chaplain me. If you could chaplain me, I think you definitely qualify.
Okay. Yeah, there we go.
we like a
Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could get me saved, Corey, you're in.
Okay, you're saved already. So
Wait a
I'm in.
minute.
I
That
need to
was
get
the
saved to
stipulation.
get in, man.
That was
I
the
need to get saved to
stipulation.
get in.
Well, that was the stipulation I gave him for coming on my podcast. So
Okay.
You got to get us all saved, Corey.
All right.
We need Jesus, man.
I want that
Oh.
Southern Baptist style savior too. I don't want none of this blah like Northern, Midwest kind of crap. I want real, let's fire and brimstone.
I've done that. Sometimes it just comes right out, and I'm like, oh, is it the right audience for this? And people are like, whoa, that was some Southern gospel way. I was like, yeah,
You all saved.
didn't mean that, but okay. You did kick me away. You're still eating with me, so let's do this. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how many times I've had to ask myself, I think I went too far. So it happens.
It does. It does.
So you were, have you been able to, have you guys had any trouble raising money? How's that going?
Oh,
Y- uh,
there's money involved? You can actually raise money? People
well,
give?
I'm sure Chris is raising money, but I mean,
Did 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 I mention that no Republican has ever won in District 10 ever in the history of Albuquerque? So not too many people are wanting to give to my campaign.
hmm,
Yeah. Yeah. I feel that. Yeah. I feel that
Yeah,
pretty strongly. Yeah. It's
but
slim
hey,
pickings.
man, in all honesty, Cody, and I'm not joking. God is my provider, and whatever God wants me to do in the campaign, if He'll bring the people and they'll donate, and I have had a few people donate, and I thank them very much. So, I'm joking around a little bit. Um, but yeah, there have been some people that have give, but it's minimal, I would say.
hmm.
Um, you know,
Because I asked
not very
because
much.
I went to the meet the candidates, whatever shindig they threw down here in Las Cruces and
Hey, you're a little bit
Greg Hall.
quiet, Cody.
Oh, am I? Let's
Yeah.
see.
Can't hear you.
I went and saw the Greg Hall gave me this thing. So, met him. I cover up the donor information so that way we're not sponsoring him. But no, I was just like talking to all those guys about fundraising, and it just seems like that is the biggest uphill task that every campaign has. And it's what how do you say this? It's like $5 can change a small campaign like yours and
Oh,
both of your
absolutely.
guys is $5 little small tiny $5 donations can
A
change the
lot of
world for you
small
guys.
$5, $10. That's the
Yeah,
world.
so if you think you got to go on these guys' web pages or donate $100, that'd be nice, but $5 will change everything for the little campaign.
Oh
So
yeah.
if you guys get a chance and you've gotten this far, the links to their campaign websites will be in there. So go donate like $5, and so that way we can help these guys out. So maybe they can, put like a 2 or 3 second thing together on the radio. Vote, and maybe we'll get them like the rest of the statement, Corey, or vote.
Chris,
So,
vote Steve.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
But no, it was impressive to be in the room, talking to all those guys, just kind of like nonchalantly walking up to them and just picking their brains. And everyone, that was their number one insight, was the money that they have to raise to get it all going. And
Well, a
it makes you
governor, lieutenant governor, secretary of state, all those, you're covering the whole state. And so you need a whole lot more money. House, you need a whole lot less if you're running
a
a
state
house
house.
race.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Y-
state house race.
Yeah, and with all the new technology that's come out and stuff, um, we could actually change a state seat like Corey in District 26 or mine. But to get all the new technology, Corey could probably attest to this. You're looking at a minimum of around $4,000, which relatively for a campaign isn't that much. Uh, but when you're in a little district like ours, it's a lot.
Yeah.
But really, for about somewhere between $4,000 and $10,000, with all the new technology that's out there, the digital stuff and the social media, you could probably flip a seat. And so, yeah, Cody, like you're saying, those $5 donations, $10 donations, it not only goes to signs and all the typical stuff, but there's a whole bunch of new technology out there
Yeah.
with the digital campaigning that just like $4,000 or $5,000 could flip a seat for sure.
Oh yeah, and it's just I was surprised when I was talking to some of them, the lower sum that it would take to actually gain some headway, like $3,000 combined could change
Yeah.
a seat, and so it made it like more obtainable, especially here in New Mexico. And when we were talking to my good friend Jason Anderson, who ran for office over in California, you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars
Yeah.
to change a seat. And here, at least you guys can, change change a seat for a relatively reasonable sum. It seems like, so it's like, well, you could do that. The problem is you guys are working too. You guys are working. Everyone of the Republican Party, they have to actually schedule their stuff at times that people aren't working. You look at the Democrat schedule and it's kind of like, oh, let's have it at 2:00 on Friday. Well, everyone's working. Well, it doesn't seem like they're really worrying about that. So the definitely, it seems like the Republicans are a party of workers, and that's part of it's like a pro and a con that we're actually working instead of, living off of the proverbial government, put it politically correct, I guess you would say.
Sure.
Yeah, it's just the thing that gets me though is like Jason said this statement to me. It's just, and it rings true every time I talk to one of those guys. I tell him, I'm like, why does it seem like the Republican Party's been around for 150 years, and every time they do it, it's campaign season. It's like they've never run an election. You go ask the local chair lady here. I was just asking her like normal individual questions, and she doesn't have any answers. You go talk to any of these people that are supposed to help the Republican Party gain ground. It's like, I don't know if it's that they've just been in the minority so long that they don't know how to win, or I can't put it together. I'm mostly venting, but it is frustrating when you think about the message is the working man's message, and yet why are we having trouble? I don't know if that's just because we're not on the campus, because we're working class, we're in the uh, auto repair, home repair, guns, ammo, all the stuff. We're not theologians or out in the college space, or I just can't
I'm
understand
a
why.
theologian.
Okay,
Thanks
Well,
for
there's that
throwing me
one
under the
guy.
bus.
Well, the problem in New Mexico, Cody, and you're on it, is we're working. So when you get to the party level, most of us don't want to deal with that stuff.
Yeah.
And so what's happened in New Mexico for the past 50 years or plus or so is it's created a vacuum within the party structure. So so the Democrats just came in and the Democrats run the Republican Party.
Well, yeah.
And do you think they want the Republicans to win? Mm-mm.
No.
It's called controlled opposition. And until the New Mexicans as a whole realize and understand controlled opposition, it's not going to change.
Well, yeah. The problem that our message doesn't get out like the Democrats do, because you watch the news. I can't even watch. Was it the local news out of Albuquerque? Because you just see the slant.
Yeah.
Every single article is like, and he was a Republican, or whereas they're like always, and I'm exaggerating, of course, but it's like the slant is so there. That's the reason I don't even watch the local news. People are like, "Oh, did you hear about the flood?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, where was it? Oh, out in New Mexico. Oh well, I probably should have known about that, but I don't trust."
Earthquake. That's the new stuff that's been happening here. Earthquakes.
Yeah, wasn't there a few? There was a few up in Socorro, wasn't?
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't feel it. So,
Well, that's good because if you're starting to feel it, then there's something going on.
well, on a different topic, the whole entire the Rio Grande Valley is a this continent's pulling apart. It's coming from a continental pull apart instead of like the water finding the lowest point and draining. It's really interesting, the Rio Grande Valley, if you read about it. It's a
Oh,
subduction zone or
hold
something.
on a second, guys. Hold on a second.
You scared him away, Cody. Talking
Yeah, sorry, I transitioned too
science.
fast.
Yeah. Earth science. New Mexico. Yeah.
If he pops another beer and does just
No,
Not sharing.
no. I come out here for privacy, and then the grandkids show up out of the blue.
cool.
So I had to tell them, nope, I'm doing a podcast. Not today.
Yeah, I gotta get that light out there in front of the door recording. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But
I'm
yeah.
sorry I went on a tangent, but it just frustrates me.
No,
You know,
it's been frustrating for decades. And like you said, Cody, I mean, we're going to have to get some real conservative, real Republicans in on doing the party stuff and not leaving it for the Democrats to do. I was in the Republican Party in the 90s, and I left because I saw what was going on. I came back because actually the Bernalillo County Party has a bunch of fantastic people in it.
Bernalillo?
Oh, yeah. I'm not
Oh.
talking the state, I'm talking the county. The Bernalillo County Party has some real people that are really trying to do the work and really trying to get people elected. And that's one of the reasons I went ahead and came back, because of the people that are in the county party right now.
Well, yeah, I got frustrated about 7, 8 years ago. Probably about 10 years ago. I went to the Libertarian Party, and I came right back. Those guys are nuts. They're nuts.
But that's what's happened, because this is an unusual year. Like you're talking about, the frustration with both parties. This is the first year where the DTS, which is declined to state, or the independent registered voters, outnumber both Democrats and Republicans right now in a lot of New Mexico. And yeah, what you're saying is people on both sides have just had it and are frustrated. And I think that's one of the big reasons that me and Corey decided to step up and run. Because it's like, enough is enough. Let's get some real people in there that don't want to just campaign, like you were talking about earlier, to make money off of an issue. Me and Corey have some ideas that if you vote us in, we can actually fix stuff. And we will, we will fix stuff if you vote us in. I don't care about money. I don't care about campaigns. I started this without the Republican Party. I don't need them to finish this. God is my provider, and I'm going to listen to him. I'm going to listen to the people in my district. I don't care what party you are. I don't care if you're independent, libertarian, DTS, Democrat, Republican. You can call me. My number's all over the internet. I always answer the phone, and I'll represent you. We may not agree on everything, let's be honest, but at least I'll listen to you, and you can call me and talk to me, and you got a chance at convincing me.
Yeah.
The last election, when the SB 17, the unconstitutional gun bill, came up, you could call your representative. You could send them 100,000 petitions. They don't listen. They don't care. And that's the difference between them and me and guys like me and Corey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was impressive. I tried to call my representative or send him emails. I never got acknowledgement that the email went through, much less.
Right.
But when you're saying that now, that the cool thing is I knew of at least 5 people at that Meet the Candidates thing that were independents, registered independents. And I was really skeptical about them being able to vote in the general election. It's like, well, if you're not part of the party, if you're not, why do we want you in our primary? But maybe including them into the party is part of the strategy, because they want a legitimate person instead of just party lying. Yeah. So
Well, people need to hear both sides, all sides, and figure out what's best for their district, for the state. And if a person's not really on point, then they need to know. And most people are not going out. Uh, they're not doing their work, their homework on what these people are running for and what they've done in the past and what their future looks like, if they vote them back in. And they're just voting. But I like it that independents and DTS are actually looking and trying to figure out what's
what's
in their
DTS?
best interest.
That's a new term. What's DTS?
Decline to state.
Decline. Okay, decline to state. Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's uphill battle for everybody. And because if we just let things just roll, we're all moving somewhere else. Yeah, because there's not going to be much. There won't be any healthcare. Crime is
Well,
going to
we're fine.
be crazy.
When Lujan Grisham came in, we had almost a balanced budget, and with all this social welfare that this lady has introduced, I think they projecting we're going to run about a $5 billion deficit in the next year or so. And it's like they raise taxes, they raise that's all they do, raise taxes and registration fees and all this other stuff. And it's like we give them more and more money and they squander it. And I've been involved I've lived in New Mexico since 2009. And I've been involved in so many projects that were just a complete, utter waste of funds. Like that stupid Spaceport America. I mean, horrible waste of money. What do we do with it? You can't even fly into it. It's an airport you can't fly to. You literally cannot fly an aircraft to that airport. Why do we have an airport we can't fly to? When you drive between Las Cruces and Albuquerque, there's a what is it? That museum. There's a museum just below Socorro.
Yeah,
That's
I
not
know
in
what
the.
you're talking about. It's abandoned.
Yeah, I brought in a load of bricks for that when I was working for what is it? Systems Transportation. Brought in bricks while they were building that because it's all masonry built thing. And now it's closed. Cost $4 million to build and whoever thought building a damn museum in the middle of absolute nowhere was a great idea. That's just graft. That is just spending money for the sake of spending money so your buddy who's a mason or whoever can just make money, and it just frustrates the crap out of me.
Cody, now those two projects, the museum and the spaceport, those weren't built with private funds. Do you know that those were built with state funds?
Oh yeah, they were built with state funds.
Because another thing, we were joking around registering at the airport and everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's funny because there's a lot of truth to it. But another thing that people have to realize is not most, not some, but all. Capital A, capital L, capital L. All government programs are money laundering. So that $4 million, it's not their money. They don't care. They don't care if they get $1,000. They don't care if they get $500. It's not their money. So they'll approve a $4 million project to get $1,000 on kickbacks from the friends that they give the contract to. Same thing with the spaceport. It was probably more than 4 million. They don't care. It's not their money. If they get $100,000 in kickbacks out of it, it's fine. And people need to realize that all government programs is just money laundering for the politicians in some way, shape, or form.
Oh yeah, it's all kickbacks.
Yeah, and
Gavin Newsom is a great example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how much it cost? You know how much it cost to build that thing?
But the problem is, the problem is,
$220 million.
yeah. But the problem is we call it corruption. But no one, that's a broad term. And what I just said was the specific. Yes, it's corruption, but we need to say what it really is. It is corruption, but what it specifically is money laundering for politicians. And even in the national and whatever, you won't hear too many people talk about that. And
Oh
that's
yeah.
where we kind of need to change the narrative and stop using the word corruption, because that's kind of just like a generic term. Yeah, we know everyone does it, but the lights are on and the streets are fixed and I got power, so whatever. But when you get a little bit more specific and say what it is, it's money laundering. The politicians are money laundering with taxpayer funds, and it has to
Oh yeah.
stop.
Well, yeah. I mean, because
Hmm.
I've been involved in a lot of construction projects, and you go talk to the road builders. And I won't say any of their names, even though I could. And they all tell you that the roads in New Mexico should be concrete. You go drive from El Paso to Las Cruces, and it goes at the state line. It goes from concrete to asphalt. And I could not understand that, but it's just because, they want to keep their cousin who's given them a little envelope of cash coming through, employed. There is no reason that in this hot of a climate, you would want asphalt roads.
Right.
They do not last more than 4 to, especially with the soil content that we have down here, 5 to 6 years. And basically, if you look at I-40, by the time they get across the state, repaving it, they have to turn around and start over. They just go back to the beginning, start over, and start paving it again. And you talk to those people, and they're like, "Well, if we made it concrete, what would we do?" And you're like, "Build something else." But we build, start paving roads that aren't paved. I don't know, but well, but that's how I make my living. I'm like, well, I guess you'd have to figure something out. But
yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. You call that corruption, but people don't really act or do anything because they can see the roads being worked on. But when you say they're money laundering and they keep fixing the roads because of money laundering, if they would just do concrete, we would have more funds to do other stuff, like
yeah,
healthcare, like supplement everyone that's going to lose their healthcare in December. You talk to anybody that's on Medicare, Medicaid, they're going to be scrambling around election time. And guys like me and Corey were saying, look, we get in, we can supplement that through these state funds instead of doing the roads over and over and over again. Let's put that money to something that matters. And let's give our seniors and our elderly, let's supplement their Medicare and their Medicaid so they don't get dropped by Presbyterian and all the other things, And that's the problem with corruption or money laundering, is it makes real causes and real people suffer because of it.
yeah.
But it's not interconnected. It's not obviously connected. That's why this broad term of corruption doesn't really get people to act or do anything.
But it is money laundering. Yeah. Well, because usually like it is money laundering. You're
Cody's
filtering it
processing
through.
that one.
Yeah. Well, because you normally you put money into a legit business, you filter it out, and people take all their cuts. So yeah, it's money laundering.
Yeah.
Because it comes
What if-
back to the person. Yeah.
What if New Mexicans hear that and they do the same thing as you, Cody, and they start processing through? Well, yeah. Well, I don't want that. I want something better. I want something different. I want my abuela to have her insurance, and so she can go and get what she needs from Presbyterian. The next thing they would close is probably what Loveless. Last one probably would be UNMH. And so, where do everyone go? If one shuts down, the ability for them to go in, and this is not just uh, the elderly, and this is also kids.
Yep.
Where are they going to go? Because it affects them too if they have some kind of mental or physical disability or whatever it's called. They're struggling too. They're like, where are we going to go? They're going to have to go out of state like everybody else. Arizona, Colorado, Texas, and that puts hardships on families because they have to pay and they have to find a hotel and all that kind of stuff. Where we have we have great facilities. Um, Keep our doctors, get more specialists, and we can have everything in house. It'd be amazing. We would change the tide of New Mexico.
Oh, here. So I got the stats for you. This I got the stats. $220 million to build the airport in the middle of nowhere. It wasn't all state funds. It was 676 million of it came from Doñana County, and the other 78,000 came from Sierra County. And there is currently a 2% levy on all sales tax.
Yeah, and Cody, you're in
It costs
construction.
it costs 15 million a year to run that thing.
Yeah. And Cody, you're in construction. So when you look at the final product, like say you were building it for yourself out of your own funds, you're a billionaire and you want to build that for yourself. Cody, that as a construction worker, there's no way that thing costs $220 million. If you were building it for yourself, how much could you have done it for? 150 million? 90 million? 80 million?
Well, because they had the well to just keep siphoning funds off of. Why would you go cheap?
No, how much would you think you would spend on that
Oh,
project?
yeah. If I had to build it, you could probably build that whole thing for 100 million.
Okay.
Or less.
So where's the other $120 million going to? That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know it. It went to it padded pockets and everything else. Well, and if it wasn't built by a government entity, you wouldn't have this building that looks like a big fifth wheel plate on the back of back of a semi truck. If you look at it, it looks like a fifth wheel plate. It is the dumbest looking building I've ever seen. Yeah, let's see.
But we've gotten to this point where we just accept it. Oh, that thing costs $220 million. And no one ever stops and takes the time to do the math. Okay, I can build that. If I was building it for my own personal airport, I could do it for 100 million. And no one ever does the math. Well, 220 minus 100 is 120. Where's the other $120 million going? No one ever asks. We're so used to it now.
See, look at that thing. Big fifth wheel plate. See, there's the blocking pin and it goes in there, and there's the two side wings for the big fifth wheel plate in the middle of the desert. Yeah.
And then it's 15 mil a year.
15 million a year is what they're saying it costs to run it.
And so when me and Corey get elected, and we say, hey, you guys need to supplement Medicaid for all our seniors in New Mexico, what are they going to say? We don't have enough money.
We have to spend it on this space station that nobody uses for 15 mil.
Well, the thing that's impressive is that building when we were, because I brought in the roof, a large portion of the roof for that was all built up in Colorado, and we shipped it down. And when we were looking at that building as they were building it, there's all this office space in there, and it's all empty. What are they running? Why do they have an office at this airport, and then they have an office down here in Las Cruces? They have office spaces in both places. It's like, well, why do you have an office out in the middle of the desert if you're not using it? And then when I've gone and asked them, and they're like, well, it was too far away from everybody. And it's like,
money,
but the
laundering.
The cool thing that we built out there was Spin launch. Have you ever heard of that? Let's see if that
Spin Lodge?
spin launch. Yeah, that was cool. That was all private funds, and it's like close to the airport. It's not at it.
No, never heard of it.
So during the zombie apocalypse, Cody, you're saying that'd be a good place to bug out to? Can
There's
we
nothing there.
hold
Why
it
would you?
with our guns in the zombie apocalypse?
Why would you want to go out there? There's nothing there.
Exactly.
Well, it's the zombie
Who would make
apocalypse.
it?
Yeah.
If they make it that far, then yeah, they're really desperate.
Yeah. Well, the truth of it is, there will be consequences if they do it, because it's that truth or consequences.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a sly one.
So-
I think it's mostly consequences and very little truth.
that is no joke, man. Yeah. I don't know. That's just one of my, and I've seen lots of projects like that. Like, that they've just thrown money away, and it just drives me crazy. It's like, why do you keep doing this to us? Why do you?
I
You
I
keep
just
saying the
told you
same
why.
thing over and over again.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, that explains it. It's money laundering.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. If we stop saying the same thing over and over again and ask a different question, how can we stop money laundering? Yeah. What would it take? Yeah. It's votes for no. You can't do
Mhm.
this. Yeah. We're going to put the money into a better environment, better place that makes sense for New Mexicans, especially our elderly and our kids that need it. And then we need it. Yeah. So yeah, say no to that and say yes to our healthcare. And we'll have if we do what Chris and I have sat down and put out and on paper and stuff, uh, the doctors will come. The
Yeah.
doctors will stay. Money will roll in. Jobs will roll in. Um, New Mexico will change.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the healthcare will change, and we'll be like, huh, why didn't we do this like 30 years ago?
Well, here's the cool thing. You were talking about what could you do if it was privately funded, and this is the project we worked on out there in that same vicinity, um, that I really thought was a good idea. And we'll look at it right here. Um, let me get this going here. This is Spin Launch. This thing was cool. Have you ever heard of this?
Mm-mm.
So what you get here is you have this centrifuge. This is a big centrifuge, and they take a missile and they throw it up into the atmosphere. So like this, spin launch it. Pull all the air out of the inner chamber, and then they time it perfectly, and they shoot it up through the top of this vent here on the top here, right here, and they throw it up into the air. So it's going like they can accelerate it with minimal, pretty much low amounts of energy because there's no resistance, and then they throw it up into the into outer space.
Hmm.
It's just the coolest idea. I don't know if it'll work, but
Oh, they
yeah.
haven't tested it. I was like, so what
No,
are
they've
they
done
like?
it.
What are
They've
they
done it,
shooting those rockets at
but
in
they're
outer
building a
space?
new facility here. See, this is their new idea. Go up higher on a mountain, and then they'll throw it. See their animation here? They just throw it into the atmosphere. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, they've actually that, but that cost. That cost. That was all privately funded. It's like $30 million. If that
Well,
was the
because
government,
that's their money. And they're like, no, this is how it's going to go, and this is the projected, and we're going to make sure it's on time and it's done right.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's government, or that's um, personal money. Yeah.
Well,
For
yeah, they
personal
had to be
projects.
accountable. They had to be accountable.
Yeah. Because once the funds are gone, that 30 million is gone. There's no more money.
Yeah. If they don't prove their concept, then, you got a big
Who wants
thing out in
to
the middle.
who
You
wants to
have the
put money
same
into that?
result. You have a you have something sitting on the middle desert rusting, it won't work. So, yeah. But no, it's just now I'm gonna start using that. We're gonna call it government money laundering. You
Yeah.
know, yeah, it's exactly what it is when you really break it down. It's not waste and abuse. It's money laundering. It has to be. You can't get there from here unless you go through that gateway. It's the only way it would work. I like that. Yeah.
Here
Next
we
time
go.
we hang out, Chris, we can. Beer's on me.
All right.
And you
I'm
need to
I'm
make a
down.
T-shirt.
I'm there.
Cody, you need to make a T-shirt.
Oh yeah, what is that? It's not government waste. It's money laundering.
There you go.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah. There's a market for that.
Yeah. We were talking about a shirt the other day we need to make. What is that? I am not free, but I am reasonably priced. Yeah.
Yeah, I told that to my physical therapist assistant on Thursday last week, and I got her, and she chuckled and stuff. And I came back on Monday, and she goes, "Yeah, I'm not cheap. I'm just reasonably priced." And she goes, "I mean, when I was vacuuming and all that kind of stuff, that popped right back in my head, and I was just chuckling. That was like the best one ever. I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
I got to tell Cody. Yeah,
I
that's
love that
gonna,
term. Oh,
yeah,
I
he's
ain't
gonna
free,
make that
but
shirt.
I. Yeah. Right
Hopefully,
there
it's not
next to.
copyrighted.
Yeah. We could look it up. But
Yeah,
right there next to stop dating witches. That's a gangbuster right there. Yeah.
there's a
That
story
was.
behind that, Chris. Uh, a guy that I know, his son kept on dating witches, and they've been putting spells on him. And yeah, I did it. I cleansed the house. Did my thing. And the second time, I was like, I'm not doing this ever again. Just stop dating witches. And yeah, how many people do you have to tell that? And how many times do you have to tell it? And he did. He did stop. I guess. Yeah, he hasn't. They haven't called me to come and exercise the demons again and cast out demons. And I'm like, okay, have we learned a lesson? Maybe not. I don't know. I don't
Did
know.
he mis-
But
did he misunderstand you and think the W was a B?
I probably, who
And he was
knows?
like, "No, Dad, this is what I date."
Every
No,
woman.
son, she's a witch. Yeah. Don't you get that? It's not a sandwich place. It's not a sandwich place. I know you like to eat. It's not a sandwich place. Come on. Yeah.
Yeah, we
No,
all have
I don't
enough
think he was
demons. I
talking
don't
about
need any more
sandwiches.
about dating witches, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What you do is we should change that symbol to like you have stop dating witches, but the W is like on a hinge getting ready to fall off, right? Stop dating. And you have like a bee floating around just sitting
Yeah,
there
there you
next
go.
to it. That would be a great shirt.
There you go.
There you go. So,
So Chris and I were talking Thursday, I think it was, and he was unpacking the different firearms since the 19 dirt time until today, and talking about the different rounds and stuff like that.
oh yeah,
And
yeah,
he
you were telling
goes,
me about that. That's part of the
"Yeah,
reason I asked Mr. Crane to come on because I wanted to explore that conversation with like why
yeah,
9mm like a contender now.
Yeah, so I was I'm retired APD here in Albuquerque. I was the last class to get trained on the 38 revolver.
Okay.
And what I tell people in my concealed carry classes is the 38 is better than nothing, but not much better.
You could have a 22.
It's better than nothing. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
But the problem was, now we have the fentanyl, which is a little bit more tame, I guess. But back in the late 80s, early 90s, the big thing was PCP. And the problem with PCP
Oh, yeah.
is people just don't feel anything. And they were literally bullets, honestly, literally, I'm not joking, had no effect on them. And these guys were getting shot literally over 30 times. And the only reason they stopped was because they finally bled out. But it would take
Dude.
them about 20 to 30 minutes for them to actually bleed out and stop whatever
Whoa.
criminality or nonsense they were doing. And if you guys have ever been in a gunfight, which usually lasts like 5 seconds, try to be in a gunfight that's 30 minutes long. Okay? That's not fun.
That sucks. That really sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
I can't imagine that. Nope.
yeah, and then also back in the late 80s we had the John Carrillo shooting. And his buddy
Well, is that
John
the one?
Mesmer-
Is that the one that the FBI decided to change their guns and they came out with the 10 mil and all that other stuff?
Oh,
Or is
that's
that?
a different story. I can get into that too.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Wrong
but,
story, Cody. Come on.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
no, but John Mesmer had a 38, and he got in this shooting in this guy's house. His partner's dead on the ground, and the 38 wouldn't even go through the plexiglass on the shower door. You know.
Ooh.
So I was like, I need something better than the 38. So I got a book from the FBI, and it was a study on police shootings, and it's called the one-shot drop. Because ideally in a police shooting, just like hunting, you don't want the animal to suffer.
Yeah.
You want to shoot one time and it be over, So they were going through rounds that were the best one-shot drop in police shootings. And at the time, it was the 357 Magnum was actually the best one-shot drop. You shoot one time, the offender's down, incident over, everyone's safe. The only problem was in the 80s and 90s, the Desert Eagle and the Magnums weren't really a thing. And there was
Desert
really no
Eagle.
semi-automatic 357. You're still back at the revolver, with the speed loaders and 6 rounds and all that stuff.
Mhm.
So the next best after the 357 was actually the 45. They called them the flying ashtrays, the big 45 hollow point.
Yeah.
But again, you're at capacity because these guys are taking 30 shots, right? So in the late 80s, early 90s, you really only had the 1911, which is 7+1 at best. You're going to get 8+1. And I'm like, that's not enough. I need more.
Oh, yeah, I got something to
So-
show you.
So what do you say?
He's got something to show you, but need more. So continue. He can still hear.
Okay. All right. So at the time, the only high capacity 45 was the Glock because you had 13+1. So I'm like 26, 13, with my two things. I'm over 30. I'm at 39, so I'm good. Because I was like, when I was reading this, I'm like, I got to have more than 30 rounds that I can reload fast. So
Yeah.
that's why I went to the Glock with the 45. And also at that time in the 90s, the 9mm technology was also, it was horrible. Same thing. Guys were carrying 26 rounds in their 9mm, but I think his name was Peter McQueen, if you want to look that up. He got in 2 shootings in Albuquerque, and same thing, man. He was getting shot 30, 40 times with the 9mm, but he was a big fat dude, and the 9mm wasn't even going through his fat, and
Ooh.
I think there was over 100 rounds shot in this police shooting here in Albuquerque. It was crazy. And then he went to jail and got out, and then he did it again. But anyway, so at the time, the 9mm was horrible. But now with the new technology, those reloading guys and those gun guys have really gotten into the 9mm, and they came out. There's exceptions to every rule, but basically the rule is the faster the projectile goes, the more the projectile breaks apart, and the more damage it does to the target. So the 45 is big and slow. It has a lot of kinetic power when it hits, but it really doesn't break. It makes a nice big hole, bigger than the 45, especially the hollow points, but it really doesn't break apart that much. So with the modern 9mm ammunition, they put enough powder in there and they got the weights right. The 114 or the 125, 147 grain in the 9mm, you're going to kind of lose this effect, and you might as well just get a 45 or a 40. But the lighter projectiles are traveling so fast that when they hit the target, they are just breaking apart in, I say a million pieces, but of course it's not a million, but they're breaking apart into a lot of pieces. And those pieces have so much speed behind them. When the projectile breaks apart, it's really traveling through the target, and it's just tearing the target apart. So now you've gotten to the point where, although it doesn't have that initial punch like the 45, the 9mm is actually doing much more damage than the 45. And as far as self-defense goes, with the modern technology, I've switched to the 9. I love my 45, don't get me wrong. But I've switched to the 9mm for concealed carry and self-defense because it seems to be a more effective round at dropping the target, right? Because again, going back to my original statement, we don't want to be sitting there and shooting somebody 10, 15, 20 times. We want to shoot them one time, maybe twice, and it be over, within seconds. We don't want it to drag on for 30 minutes. So that's kind of the new technology. And then you can get the 9mm with the plus P. Plus P means plus powder. So the more powder, as a rule, exceptions to every rule, but as a rule, it's going to travel even faster when you get the plus P rounds, and it's going to have more effect on the target.
Well, yeah, well, you don't even have to do that anymore because I made these last night. These are my test rounds for what's coming up in August. We're making it. This is what it is. Like that.
Okay.
My polymer bullets.
Mm-hmm.
And we're looking at the different powders. It's like they have that Hornady has that powder is was it copper fouling CF copper fouling pistol or something? Forget what it's actually. But the velocity of that burn rate, you're putting what 4.3 grains of powder, and you're getting that bullet up to 1,100, 1,200 feet per second.
Yeah.
Which was which you're using like a different powder, like Winchester 231 or some of the older, slower, really fast burning powders, and you're not getting that velocity or that kick to the ground, getting up to that higher velocity because they're burning that powder off so quick. That was the thought, that get it up quick. But now we're reading that using the powder, it even has enough time that it's still accelerating as it comes out of the out of the barrel. It's like to figure that out, and like this powder here is with this projectile is going to be doing about 1,280 feet per second is what we're hoping to get out of a 9mm.
Yeah.
And now it's a polymer bullet, and we use these because we're going to go shoot steel, and when they hit, they just pulverize. It just turns into dust, basically.
Nice.
So because the problem we have as RSOs is you got a lot of crap flying back at you. You shoot that
Sure.
9mm ball around and it's going to come back. So we shoot those now, so that way when you hit it, it just hits it, and it's cool, man. And it doesn't leave any. It just leaves blue plastic in your barrel. It's,
Nice. Nice.
ever shoot polymer bullets?
I've never shot
Yeah.
them. No. I mean, I know about them, but I've never shot them. No.
Yeah. No, they're awesome because I think I bought 500 bullets for like $32.
Nice. Nice.
No,
So
I
Cody,
still got to go load it. Yeah.
I guess that's what it was, is they didn't have that powder technology in the early 90s.
Yeah, it was
Is
the
that what it
powder
was?
technology. The
Okay.
powder
Wow. Okay.
technology.
Yeah, I learned something. I knew that they had come up with something, but so it was the powder. Makes sense.
Well, we've like Hornady really spent a lot of R&R, in my opinion, from if you read the variety of different bullets that Hornady's come up with, and they've put out a lot of information. Like you can get Hornady makes what they call what is it? HAP rounds, HAP, Hornady Action Pistol,
Mm-hmm.
which is a hollow point you can get for target shooting. That when it hits, it just flattens out and turns. Because and that's where they got some of the technology to start making the hollow points that when they hit, they explode.
Right.
Um, but instead of, they don't have the serrations on the sides of the bullets. That way, when it hits, it just deforms into this like pancake. Or you can get the polymer bullets that just turn into explode into
Right.
nothing. But
And so that's what I'm talking about, is even with the new powder technology, the 45 is just too heavy. So you don't get that shattering at the target like you do with the 114 grain or the 124 grain 9mm. I mean, those things just do so much damage to the target now. Like you said, they just they hit and they just explode inside the
well,
target.
the idea that you're getting no, let's explain. So the longer the barrel you have, the longer that powder has time to put pressure on the back of it. That's the reason, like, Dirty Harry's gun had a big long barrel with a 44 Magnum, because he needed that. That's why he could just do two pulls and drop them. I like Dirty Harry. That was a great movie.
It was.
Do you feel lucky? Well, do you, punk? No. John Milius is the one that wrote those lines, and he's such a craftsman of cinematic history. But anyways, yeah, the powder technology, the bullet, like you can get 9mm bullets that aren't flat on the back now; they are conical. They're
Mhm.
and that makes the bullet just fly smoother through the air, so you don't have the velocity loss. You know, um, so to when you're shooting a gun, you have was it you're looking for center of gravity, and you're looking for you know ballistic coefficient, and you got these rounds now. Like this is so like this is a cone. This is a different shaped bullet now. See, it's not. Oh,
He's losing his rounds.
so if you look at it, it's not. It's not a regular rounded nose. It's a cone. It's a conical shaped bullet because it has a lower CG, not CG, but ballistic coefficient. So it flies through the air faster, gives you more. There's not as much of the energy being taken away by wind resistance. So when it hits, it transfers more energy into the round, and
Right.
it's just stupid little things like that you wouldn't think of. Like,
So are you
why
able to
would
shoot out further with those with the new powder and the new dimensions of the round?
well, yeah, but it's still a pistol. So I
Yeah.
mean, you're talking, you're only so like for example, I'm building ammunition with the Hornady arrow match bullet right now, and we're using CFE 223, and with a 16-inch barrel, you're still getting 2,900 feet per second because it's a really slow burning powder. So I get that bullet out there, but the BC is like 4.8. So the higher the number, the lower the resistance as it flies. And by time that round gets out to 600 yards, you're doing 1,800 feet per second. Well, the pistol rounds haven't even accelerated to that point. So like you shoot a 223 out to 800 yards, you're doing like 900 feet per second. That's the same velocity as a pistol is at like as it comes out of the barrel. So the faster you can get that round going, the more kinetic energy you're going to change. That's why like the ultimate pistol round is actually a 41 Magnum because of the way the transfer of energy is such a significant factor in the way bullet geometry works. But you try finding 41 Magnum. That is just an amazing round
Yeah.
because it has the perfect amount of dimensional cross section. So when you look at bullets, the cross section of the bullet is the distance across it. And if you look at the 45 auto bullet, it has a large cross section, has a lot of bullet, but it doesn't have a lot of ass. So it's coming out at like 800 feet per second. But it has so much follow through because that weight, you're talking 148 grains is like starting, maybe 120. So where these bullets are like peaking out at, they're starting their round. And you can get up to like 210 grain bullets for 45. So there's two things that kill. Speed kills better than weight, but weight has it has the right of weight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and it's funny because it's like when we're designing the perfect round for Rocky Mountain 3-gun, we're looking at the cross section of the bullet, the weight of that bullet, and we're looking at the velocity and the shape and the ballistic coefficient. And we found a round that's made by Hornady that has a 4.3 ballistic coefficient, and because of the way the bullet's completely shaped, it's 69 grains. But I'm like, well, if you think, because if you want that bullet to have carry, you have to get weight. The weight will have the fly. It'll help it go further out. But then you lose speed. So, it's a give and take. Well, I found this 69 grain bullet that's going out at 2,800 feet per second out of a 16-inch barrel with a
Wow.
1-in-7 twist. And you put all that together, you're still going, was it 2,100 feet per second at 400 feet for 400 yards. So you're looking at that point at where they come together to do what you're intending to do. So like I'm building a round right now that for all the close-in stuff that we're going to do, it's only 55 grains, but it's going to be moving a lot faster, won't have as much kick into the shoulder. So you can follow to the next round. So and the idea of tapering or channeling your energy so that way you can fly through stuff just by bullet composition is just the science behind that is amazing.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, it just wasn't there in the early 90s, so you would go for the 45. The 45 was the best offer.
Well, that's the
And
reason
the
it
9
didn't.
really wasn't much better than a 22 back then. I'm
No, it
telling you,
wasn't.
it was horrible. And so guys went to the 40, which I get, but now what you're talking about with the new technology of the powder and the projectiles, in my opinion, of course, this is all opinion, the modern 9mm has basically made the 40 cal obsolete.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna do a 9, you're gonna do a 45. Why would you do a 40 at this point?
Well, and it's like the 9 has gotten so effective now that
Yeah.
the gun that the Secret Service carried was 357 SIG. that's a hell of a bullet, man. You get the 40 caliber
Yeah.
casing.
The only reason I wouldn't go to the 57 SIG is because it's like $100 a round.
Oh,
I'm exaggerating.
No,
Sorry, I'm
no,
exaggerating.
for the rich.
It's about $75 for 50 rounds. So do the math. It's expensive.
yes.
It's a great round. Like you're talking, Cody. I agree. Great round. The only reason I don't bring it up as a poor gun owner is I couldn't afford the 357 SIG. You know, the 9mm just as far as affordability goes and effectiveness, put it all together, the 9mm just makes more sense. But hey, if you're a 100 millionaire and you want to do 357 SIG, then yeah,
Well,
you're right.
well, yeah, but also 41 Magnum. That's an awesome round, but you're
Now
buying 50,
you're saying Magnum, so does that mean it has a longer casing than the standard 40 Smith & Wesson? So you get more
41
power?
Magnum.
Yeah.
41 Magnum is like the casing length is probably just a little shorter than a 44 Magnum. So
Okay.
it's a big casing. It was
Gotcha.
actually developed by a guy that was a former border patrol officer. So he wanted the optimum amount of cross section with the velocity, and he found it in that round. But you
Yeah.
can't find them anywhere.
I've never
But
even
look
heard
at what
of it. It's a new one for me.
41 Magnum, my Glock, not my Glock, my Desert Eagle fires 41 Magnum, 44 Magnum. So yeah, if you ever have an opportunity to get like a 41 Magnum, fantastic.
Yeah, but I'll have to
Oh,
have
yeah.
you make rounds for me.
Yeah.
Where am I gonna find rounds, bro?
You can find them at Cabela's. I've got them before. You can find them.
All right.
It's just the cool thing is during COVID is like all that off ball stuff like that was available because everyone bought up like 9mm 45.
Right.
So all the oddball stuff, 41 Magnum was available. It was crazy when you went in there and they cleared out the shotgun shells. They were all gone. But if you had a 10 gauge, 10 gauge was relatively well available. Wouldn't want to shoulder that, but
Well, I'm gonna have to go check my website now and see if I have any 41 Magnum.
oh yeah. But the problem is it's like the cool thing about 9mm is the rule of thumb I've always said is fire the round that your government shoots because the availability.
Right. Yeah.
So not only has 9mm become more effective, it's available. You can go shoot. Think you can pick up a 20 round box of 9mm, what, $12, $15, $20, something like that. I don't know. I haven't bought it in years. But
Hollow Point or FMJ? FMJ is around $15 now. Hollow Point, you're looking at for 20 rounds, you're looking at about 20, $23. A little over $1 a round.
I got this new round where me and my dad are working on it. Looks like a cross, and it has these scars, like looks like the blunt end of a what is it? A Phillips head screwdriver for a 9mm. And I'm like, dude, who wants to get shot with that? Because it just has like these blades in it and stuff.
Who wants to get shot?
My favorite is the RIPs.
RIPs?
The RIPs, yeah. I say rest in peace, but there you go. Oh, where's my camera?
Oh, dude.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. I've seen those.
Yeah, I got a really good
It's
picture.
kind of like the Black Talon of 9mm. If you remember the black or the Talon rounds back in the day. Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I'm using now. And I put a standard hollow point in the middle in case I got to shoot through something. Because I think those RIPs are going to fall apart if I have to actually shoot through something. So I kind of mix it up.
Wow, it's only 92 grains, too.
So I
Yeah.
was looking up the difference between the 350 SIG and the 9, and they're identical, they said, for our penetrating ideal 13 to 18 inches in the ballistic gel. But when you're looking at punching through intermediate barriers like glass, auto glass, car doors, it actually punches through. So it sounds like both the 357 and the 9 are so similar, except for punching through things. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that. Yeah, and they also you pay a higher price.
Well,
Yeah.
that was my friend that I have the CW Guns and Gear with. He during the middle of was it COVID or something, they were having a hard time. So the police department came to him and asked him to reload, and he was making like 1,000 rounds a week for one of the sheriff's departments around here of 357 SIG, just because they couldn't find it anywhere. Oh, oh yeah. So here's the cool thing. My new Glock toy. I have
Nice.
a Terran Tactical magazine. So this holds 23 rounds now instead of measly 17.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got really technical there. I really dig the information about all the bullets and stuff. It's a lot of fun just like figuring it all out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you
And
vote
like
for
I
these
said,
two
like,
guys here, they'll help keep it in New Mexico. So,
yeah. And like you said, the 9mm is available, and that's huge when you're
mhm.
Yeah.
looking for something. The average gun owner, you want availability. Guys like you, Cody, that can reload and do all the crazy stuff. You can get into the 41 Magnum and whatever, because you can just go make it yourself.
Yeah, you still got to be able to buy the bullets. I
Yeah,
don't
and the
make bullets.
projectiles. Yeah.
Make sure you don't lose your casing. Take
Well,
up your
you know how
brass.
the 40 came. The 40 caliber came out of that FBI shooting that we were
Yeah.
talking about in the 80s.
Yeah. The 40 came because the FBI aren't real cops and they can't shoot.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm calling out you FBI guys. You're not real cops and you can't shoot. There's a couple guys that are real, but as a rule, they're just desk jockeys, man. They're lawyers with a gun is basically what they are. But yeah, so they're gonna come knocking on my door. No,
And
but
prove
like
you
I was
wrong.
talking about, with those PCP shootings, that guys were I'm not joking. There were several of them, and the FBI was involved in a lot of them when they went to go
Hmm.
make arrests, and they were shooting these guys 30, 35 times, and nothing was happening. So again, with that one shot drop uh, search, the FBI went to the 10mm, which is a great round, better than the 45 for sure.
Mhm.
But the problem is it's such a hot round. It has a lot of recoil. And so as a law enforcement officer, you have to qualify on the range 3 to 4, depending on the department, 3 to 4 times a year. And if you go out to your shoot on Tuesday and you don't qualify, you don't shoot an 80%, it's horrible. I was shot 100, but if you can't shoot an 80% on Tuesday, guess what? You can't go to work on Wednesday. You're done. You're
Mhm.
done. So, and you can't go back to work until you qualify. So the FBI, I don't know how many officers, they got 20,000 officers or
Well,
whatever, and 10,000 of them can't go to work because they can't qualify because of the recoil with the 10. And
and
again, at the
that's
time, the 9mm was horrible. So they literally just cut the 10mm in half, and that's where you get the 40 Smith and Wesson. And now the desk jockey gun toting lawyers could handle the recoil of the 40, and that's why you got the 40 Smith and Wesson, because the FBI can't shoot.
Yeah,
Cut
pretty.
it in half. That'll
Yeah,
work.
Oh yeah,
that's
here, this
basically
is
what
a
they
good.
did.
Yeah, I'll show you this good illustration we got here. But and it really sucked too because Smith and Wesson built that heavy frame gun, and they were having a lot of problems with it too. They used like I think it was like two different kinds of metals, and the way they would interact with each other, they didn't play real nice.
Yep.
The gun that Smith and Wesson built for that. So here's the 10 mil. Here's the 40 Smith and Wesson, right here.
Yep.
Same size bullet. So, but yeah, the frame that gun. I think it was Smith and Wesson that built it. But actually, what's funny is if you read about it, Glock introduced the round before Smith and Wesson did, and that was their baby, their brainchild. Because they were having SHOT Show, and they introduced the round, and literally Glock, whatever the guy named with the last name Glock, he went up and was looking at it, and he palmed a 10 mil round and took it home with him back to Austria, and they built a gun around it.
Nice.
Goes, oh, that's so they Glock was actually came to market before Smith and Wesson did with their 10 millimeter.
Yeah, a lot of guys were wearing them because again, a lot of guys now some guys like didn't like the recoil of the 45. They didn't like the ineffectiveness of the 9. So again, back in the early 90s, your happy medium was the 40 Smith and Wesson, and now I think so. The 45 was 13 plus 1. I'm thinking the 40 was like 20 plus 1 or something like that, maybe 18. But anyway, you got more.
That's 15.
You got more capacity.
15. Yeah, 15 plus 1.
Okay.
So what is it? I think it's the 22, or is it? No, the 23 is a compact 40. So I think it's Glock 22.
Yeah, but so you get a couple more rounds. You get a couple more rounds in the 45. You don't have to deal with the ineffectiveness of the 9. You don't have to deal with the recoil of the 45. So it was kind of like a happy medium, and it had some good. It's got good knockdown power and all that stuff. But that was back in the early 90s when now I think the 9 has just made the 40 pretty much obsolete. If you want the 40, get it. It has availability just like the 9. It's a decent round. But for me, let's just go with the 9.
Well, and you can train with it. It's you can find rounds that the variety of ammunition is out there. If you want wad cutters, you got that. You want something like that RAP thing, which I'm gonna have to go find some of that because that's gonna probably go into the old carry gun because that looks badass. If nothing else, you can show your buddies. Check this out. Because cool guy points go everywhere, right? So, but no, 9 millimeter is a formidable round. Because I remember people would be like, "Well, there was like 380 9 millimeter. There were no one really liked either." But and then the 10 mil came out, and you can if you fully load a 10 mil, it has some real muzzle velocity. You're talking like 1900 feet per second.
Yeah, the bow hunters in Alaska, they dropped their 45s and they went to the 10 millimeter for the polar bears.
Oh,
when they're out bow hunting, that for the bears, that's what you want to carry is a 10. But again, those guys got to practice with it. If you get a 10, even if you're an experienced shooter, you need to practice with that thing. That thing has a lot of recoil. It's no joke. It's the real reason why those FBI guys couldn't pass their quals, because that thing's got some kick, man. You got to train.
That was the thing I liked about the Desert Eagle, is even though it's a 44 Magnum, the gun, the frame of that gun is so well balanced, it really takes a lot of the kick out of it.
Absolutely. Yep.
The fireball that comes out of it, if you look wrong, it'll blind your ass when you pull the trigger. But I mean, Dude, that we measured that one time. I think it puts out like a 4 or 5-inch fireball off the end of the. And the
Nice.
problem, the revolvers, because they have that chamber space, a lot of the powder goes out on the sides, but the Desert Eagle throws it all forward, and it just. That was my carry gun when I lived in Alaska. It's my 40 Desert Eagle 44 Magnum, and
Nice.
yeah, I've never had a complaint about it.
And honestly, revolvers have a place too. I mean,
Uh-huh.
for the inexperienced shooter that's just using it for self-defense, and they really don't want to clean it, or they're not into it, it's gonna work 6 times. You know,
Well, the
the
cool thing
revolver's
is,
gonna be reliable. You're not gonna have misfires and stuff like that. So for some people, revolvers got a place too.
Yeah.
well, the cool thing is it's you can put it in your purse, girl, and you pull the trigger and it'll
Those
fire. No,
purse.
I swear that's the cool
No,
thing
Corey
about
knows about that. Corey knows about putting
Yeah.
it in his purse.
Yeah. Purse is best. Yeah. No one expects a man with a man purse with a
Well, you
38
can
or
put the
357.
the cool thing is if you get a 38 snub nose for your wife, you can put it down in there and it'll be sitting next to your balls in the bottom of her purse. So
Yeah.
one will keep the other company. So.
So I was at a house. I was doing some stuff as a chaplain with a couple other people, and one person kept on saying, "Yeah, that person has um, a, a 38 special in her purse, and this and that." And I was like, "Okay, well, we'll see what happens." And that person said, "Hey, could you pass me my purse?" Now, it was to the left of me, so I picked it up and I handed it to the lady, and um, the social worker was like, "What did it feel like?" Not a 38. That was way too light. People are crazy. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they're
need to
fun,
write a
though.
book.
You should. Adventures in
Crazy chaplain stories.
chaplain. Yeah, adventures in a chaplain life, the life of a chaplain.
Yeah. In
Yeah,
Albuquerque or in New Mexico. In New Mexico.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
that'd be
go in
fun.
there, you think you're going in there for save it, and you find some blue on the carpet. Like the meth off of Breaking Bad. My bad.
No, it's there too. Yeah, you got to be very
Dude,
careful which home that you go into that it doesn't explode when you open up the door.
what was that joke? When I was a mortician's assistant, I asked the cop what eye color he had, and he committed suicide. He goes, he has blue eyes. And I go, blue eyes. He goes, yeah, one blue that way and one blue that way.
Ouch.
I was like, wow.
And at that point, you just put blue on the paperwork.
Nah, to be determined is what I wrote down. Dude, I tell you, some cops have the best sense of humor when it comes to bad situations, man. So,
And on each other. Yeah, not
yeah,
just in the situation, but with each other. There's another one where I was standing around with because we had to check on a client, and the police officers had to come in, and one was a trainee, and the trainer walked up, turned around, and the trainees all over the apartment and all that kind of stuff. And the guy goes, "Hey, try looking here." There he was. Yeah, and he wasn't alive, so we were waiting around and talking, and I was like, "Hey, if you had $1 billion, what would you do?" And so these police officers are just like talking about this and that, and then they're like, but we're gonna have to take this one out because she wouldn't narc on us." I was like, "What?" yeah, she's too straight and narrow. If we're gonna be doing all this, we're in drugs, we're in the drug trade, so we're gonna have to take her out because we're cops. We don't make that much money. We're not gonna have all these kind of things. So I was like,
when you've gotten to figuring out your IRS statement, you've really thought about it too much. You give how would you cover it up? Yeah.
Yeah. I have fun. I like that.
Oh, dude, man. I remember one time we were doing this recovery, uh, on the side of the road and the DOA, so, guy had gotten rear-ended a car in a Corvette, and the hood had come up and went through the windshield, decapitated the driver. I'm sitting there, we're, like, literally looking for this guy's head so we can put the whole body together to take it back to the mortuary, and the cop looks at me, he goes, "If he woulda had a better head on his shoulders, we wouldn't have this problem right now," and I was like, "Oh." It's like Yeah. Well, I've had a lot of fun in my life. And I think about stupid mortuary jokes. That's the depravity of my life. But no, it's 9 millimeter. Yeah, it's come a long way, and I think it has a lot to do with the powder. Getting that velocity stack up.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and I wonder how Hornady set up their R&R. Yeah, other places they have R&D, but Cody's like, yeah, they're R&R. So
Yeah, R and
R&R
D.
is.
My bad.
I've been waiting for that one. Are they resting and relaxing? Making these
They're
Rest and
decisions.
researching and
research.
relaxing.
There we go.
Well, have you ever been to the shooting range? It's rest and relaxation for me. So I was just throwing it out there, man.
It all depends on the shooting range and who the people are.
Well, if you're at
Uh,
the Whittington Center, it's pretty relaxing.
yeah, never been. Hopefully
Oh,
soon.
yeah. Have you ever been to the Whittington, Chris?
Been where?
To the Whittington Center?
Where's that? What is that?
It's Shangri-La it's Mecca for gun shooting, really.
Okay.
No, it's here in
What
New
state is
Mexico.
it?
It's
Is
in
it
New
here?
Mexico. hmm
Okay.
It's in Raton. It's the
Oh, is
NRA
that the
Whittington.
NRA one?
hmm
Oh, I've heard about it, but I've never been.
Oh, dude, man, you have to go. It is like you can go and they have a long range course there. It's like 3 miles long. You can shoot like you can do 2 and 3 mile on the shoots on that thing.
Yeah,
You
I'm doing baby steps. I'm really good with a handgun and a pistol. I'm at 300. I'm at 300 yards right now, and I just haven't got into the math and all that other stuff to go farther than 300. And well, I need
yeah,
better optics too. I don't have optics for it. So,
yeah, you're holdover. You're like,
but with my rifle, I mean, I have thermals, and 300 is about my max.
even with your
And
rifle, what kind of rifle? Well, you have a lot of rifles. You're a gun store owner, but
yeah, I'm a 308 guy.
oh
Um,
yeah,
so I just have an AR-10 with the thermal on there.
oh
I got
okay.
a 50 round drum for it. That's why I like the AR-10, because again, I could get some high capacity magazines.
Well, I started the last. Was it 2 years ago? Uh, I went out to the NRA Whittington Center. My dad, they had the adventure camp, which is going on right now up the winter up there. They people you can send your kids there and have professional shooters teach them gun safety, and they do bows and camping and all that stuff. But they have like shotgun, bow, the 50 cal, 308. They take them through the whole gambit of firearm safety for a whole
Mm.
week, and then they have a camping trip, and then yeah, I mean, I'm no expert. I know that my dad is the bus driver for it, and the stories he says about these kids is impressive. Way that what they're doing when they leave that. Oh, it's pricey, but I think it's a good experience for kids. I think they.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Some of these kids go out to that NRA Whittington Center, and they make friends for life when they go to that. And then,
Absolutely.
and when they get done with it, a lot of the kids come back and they volunteer out there and they work as staff members or as
Okay.
was it counselors for their program. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Uh, I'll put a link to that in the description to the NRA Whittington Adventure Camp. I'm going to send my daughter to it next year. 13 to 18-year-old kids can go to it.
Oh yeah, Cinder.
Oh yeah, she turns
Sure.
13. We're gonna, yeah, and yeah, it's so cool. And then my cousin from Florida is gonna send her daughter out, and they're gonna get to hang out for a week out there and
There we
go
go.
shooting and learn gun safety.
How
Hey,
fun.
Cody, don't you like the 308 too?
Oh yeah. So I went out to the Whittington Center.
Where is this story going?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. No, yeah. So my bad, ADD moment. I apologize. No, I have a Remington 700 and 308. It's a 26-inch barrel, and we have custom built ammo for it. And I went out to the Whittington Center with a 308 and this POS scope and tried to shoot out to. It's cool because they have this rail. It's a railroad rail that's set out there, and they put ducks and pigs and stuff on it at different ranges.
Yeah.
And you shoot them and you can knock them off. So it's kind
Nice.
of cool. And then at the 1120 it's a metric range. So you got 200 meters, 300 meters, 400, 5. And then it stops at 5 and then it goes out to 1,000 meters, which is 1,123 yards. They have this white buffalo on the side of the mountain. And so I went out there and I chambered it up and went to shoot it, and I had no idea what I was doing. And then I went to the shooting range out here, Butterfield shooting range here in Las Cruces. They also have 1,000-yard range. And I just started talking to this guy. Wendell was out there, and we went down a whole different. He built me custom. He all this knowledge I have is because he's like obsessed with guns. So he taught me all this stuff, and we have like hand loaded 174 grain, bullets that are specifically designed to go out and knock that to 1,100 yards.
Yeah, and I know a sniper rifle world champion, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. When you get out to those long ranges with a rifle shooting, and he told me straight up, if you don't reload, you're not doing it right. You
Oh, yeah.
gotta reload, and everything has to be to the grain in order if you're going to get that long range distance. Now he's talking about competing, putting a hole in a hole. Okay. He's not talking about plinking. He's talking about like super precision, long distance shooting. He said you have to reload in order to do it properly.
Oh, I'm very fortunate because the ammo we're going to be building for the rifle, my 223 is going to be, there's this RCBS, a Reload Master, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it has these 2 barrels on it, and you tell them the exact grain, and it takes it down to the 10,000ths of a grain of.
Yeah. That's what a lot of casual shooters don't understand about sniper and precision competition shooting. They're going down to the grain, guys. A little tiny flake. And it makes a difference. Yeah.
Yeah. And when you're getting, like, tomorrow I'm going to go take the chronograph, and I'll probably make a video about the bullets and stuff that we're making. We're chronographing it to see what we're getting. But when you're talking about a spread on, they're so accurate that the spread on your velocities is within 20 feet per second of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Is like impossible to get out of store-bought ammo. It's like store-bought ammo, even like Hornady's top of the line ammo.
The match
You're
grade.
talking,
Yep.
yeah, you're talking 50, 60, 70, 80 feet per second. And then to explain that could be the difference between hitting here and hitting here.
Yep.
The,
Yep.
so if you're going to hit here and it hits here, you've lost. So
Right.
that's,
Right.
and that's
Yeah.
the
And so
difference.
I need to get the right optics to go past 300, and then I'll go to 4, and then I'll go to 5, and I think the sweet spot for the 308 is around 800 to 1,000.
Yeah, because you still got
You can
enough
see a
velocity.
mile with the 308, but now you got to do math, and you got to have you have a 20-inch barrel, and all kinds of stuff to reach. Well, I mean, you can do it with a 16-inch barrel, but again, it's tough, but it can
Well,
be
the
done.
problem, like really from my competition shooting, we shoot out to 6. There's 2 this year. I think there's 3 shots in Rocky Mountain 3 gun are going to be out to 600 yards. And really, when you're going that far out with a 223, you really need about an 18 or 20-inch barrel. And I got a
Oh
16.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the max for a 223 effectiveness. Yeah, yeah,
And then, but I don't know. You can get a vortex scope for about 500-600 that you can put on there. That's
yeah,
pretty good. And
yeah,
the thing is like then we're going so far out with these bullets. You have to get another scope to see the round hit because the
yep,
binoculars you bought can't see what the hell's
yep,
going on.
yep.
My dad literally, I think when I put a video up on CW Guns and Gear of us shooting out to that distance, and I tried to record it. You couldn't even see it with a camera. With 10x zoom, you can't even see the target. You can see that there is a target, but you can't make it out. And
Yeah,
you know,
there's nothing like pulling the trigger, hearing the boom, popping a drink, having a conversation, and then a few seconds later you hear ding.
dude, seriously. So you'll be sitting there on the scope and you'll chamber this round and you're just sitting there and you're like listening to your breathing. And then you just sit there and you pull the trigger and you're like, hit. And then like ding, 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 ding. It comes off. It is like the coolest thing in the world for some reason. When you hear
Yeah,
that bell, when you ring that bell out there at 1,100 yards and it takes you 5 seconds to hear it
yeah,
come back.
you're reading a book, drinking some coffee, and then all of a sudden, bing.
The thing that
That's
was
awesome.
scary is Greg, one of the range, he works out there. He's one of the range coordinators for like the big events. And I met him. He's the one that got me into the Rocky Mountain 3 gun stuff because they need a ton of volunteers to get that to go. But I'm sitting there firing his 6.5 Creedmoor, and he literally takes his binoculars out and looks at the target and pushes a button, and it gives him the exact distance, and he just goes over and spins it in the dial, and then he looks at it again, and then the binoculars go, "This is how much wind drift it's going to be." And he
Oh,
turns it again, and then pulls the trigger, and it just bam. And I'm like, I want one of those. How much does it cost? He goes, the binoculars are $3,000.
Yep,
The
yep, yep,
binoculars. No, it
yep.
was a spotting scope. My bad. It was like, or was it? I don't know. These things were huge, like huge
Yeah,
old. And you just push a button and it sends the information Bluetooth to his phone and it sends in the calculation for your scope and just spin the knob and pull the trigger. And then he had the velocity. He had the chronograph was Bluetoothed into his phone, and this computer program like crunches all the numbers for you. So it takes the velocity off the last round, and then it tells you how much to change if you didn't hit.
yeah,
And the scope that does that, I think it's like a Night Force scope that he was firing is like a $5,000 scope.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And I know a couple guys, like I said, that they're on the spectrum or something. I mean, they're normal people, but bro, they can do all those calculations
in their head. Yeah,
in their brain within half a second. It's the most craziest thing, and they're hitting at a mile consistently, just over and over again, and it's
hmm.
nothing to them. That's just a whole nother a whole nother thing, you know,
Well,
Yeah, that's a different world.
there's
different
this
world. Yep.
competition. Well, there was
But
this
they get mad
competition.
at you because you can't do it. To them, it's so easy. They're calculating all this stuff in their head, and it's like it's so easy. Just this there and that there and this there and that and the slope and the angles and the wind and the fire magic. And I'm like, huh?
Geometry?
I need the computer that Cody's talking about
Oh yeah,
and
you
the
just push the
binoculars.
button. Yeah.
That's way too much thinking.
What
They
is
do
what
it.
is what?
It's like an NFL quarterback. They can just do it, boom,
Yeah.
and they hit every time. It's
Well,
amazing.
the thing that really gets you going is when you have a crosswind. So, like, you're shooting at a target at 1,000 yards, and you set your scope, and you're talking like 9.7 mils of drop. And
Yep.
I'm probably going to get this. I'm probably going to get this wrong, but you're aiming 36 inches over the top of the target,
Yeah.
like way over it. If you look down the barrel instead of through the scope, and then this one shot we took, it's like 9.7 mils of drop, and then it's like 1.5 mils of side drift. So you put that in. So you're shooting high and over to here instead of here. You're shooting high and over here, and you pull the trigger, and you can literally see the vapor trail of the bullet fly down and into the into the into the plate. And you're like, this is cool because you see the bullet. You can't see the bullet, but you can see the air parting.
Right.
It
Right.
like makes
Yeah.
a disturbance in the air as it flies, and you can see it arc and fly into there. And it's like, that is awesome. Let's do it again.
Yeah. You're like an English longbowman at that point.
Oh yeah, it's that's just the concept of, like, you explain that to someone, they're like, what's the deal? I'm like, but you're shooting here and it's here. And you're dropping it. You're
Yep.
arcing that sucker into it. And then, like, what they were saying, when you shoot like 50 cals out to like 2 miles, that the round is so arced that when it's coming back down into the target, it's picking speed up again as it's
Wow.
coming down. So it's like, it's
No, thank you.
reaccelerate.
No, thank you. I don't want to be on the receiving end of that.
No.
Well, the thing that
Or hit me
sucks
right. Hit me right in the
that
center so I don't feel it.
I read this book about, snipers. It was like Brandon Webb wrote it. He was a sniper in the SEALs, and he was saying that, like, they were the world's longest shot was in Afghanistan, and it was by the Canadian Army. And it just pissed them off that the Canadians got it. But they were using match grade ammunition built by Hornady to do that stuff.
Wow.
Even there. And you're talking Wendell, my friend he has those rounds. To reload the round is $30 a round.
Oh.
Just
Jeez.
and that's not including
Wow.
the casing and the powder. $30 a round.
He's got a very expensive hobby.
Well, I don't know, man. We were when we were really into the CW Isaac gears, we went out and we were shooting videos with that 50 cal. You shoot like 3 rounds, and I'm like, you feel it in your sinuses. It rings your bell when you pull the trigger on that, and it just sucks because the muzzle blast comes back. You can't have anything on any of the benches. You can't. People are sitting in their cars on the range because you pull the trigger and it just hurts everyone around you to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
I think it's like
That's why I stick with the 308, bro.
yeah, but if you're gonna shoot, I have to say that 6.5 Creedmoor, this cross sectional density of that bullet, at 800 yards, it is like 2 mils flatter. So like when we're shooting out to 1,000 yards, you're at 9.7 mils, and I think .65 Creedmoor is at like 8.1. So it's so much faster and small. It's a narrower bullet. So when it's flying, it's not losing as much energy. So it's holding
Yeah.
it, and it's long. It's long. It's a long for caliber round. And yeah, that 6.5 Creedmoor. But I don't know. I buy something. I want to perfect the thing I have. I don't need to rebarrel it. I'll go buy another thing and then take it to the nth degree. But they were like, we could go get you this barrel and we'll do this and that. And I'm like, I'll go buy a whole new damn gun. I don't want this one to be left alone. But shooting is, that's the reason I have that shirt that says range day therapy on it. Cause it's, when you're doing that kind of shooting, you're so into like figuring out the pull. Cause my rifle has a 2-pound pull on it. And it cracks so cleanly that you're sitting there and you're just slowly putting pressure on it until it hits. And it's just, oh man, it's so much fun. I need to go back out, start shooting more.
Yeah, there's a reason why a lot of gun-hating liberals go out shooting and then all of a sudden they become gun advocates. One-time shooting. Be surprised how many people you can turn just by taking them out and going blinking. They realize
Well,
how fun it is.
that's the thing that when I went and got my range safety officer thing is, I think the biggest takeaway is the mindset on being around first time shooters and how to stay calm has really helped in a lot of other things I've done in my life. The NRA spent quite a bit of money on how to teach people how to stay calm when you're around guns, which is a very useful task.
I wonder why.
You don't want people to get a little bit antsy around firearms. And the cool thing was that I didn't even think about when I took that course is they take you through every single kind of action of every like sliding block and bolt action and every kind of action that's there. They teach you how to disarm every kind of gun built so you can be effectively safety a weapon.
Yeah, I had a new one. I had a new one last time, Cody. My wife is a pretty good shot actually, and I took
Mhm.
her out shooting with me, and I had a class going on at the time as well, and she hands me her gun, and I'm like, I have never seen this before. What the heck did you do?
What did what did she do?
Oh my God. I couldn't figure it out, man. I'm like, I've never seen this before. And then I cleared it, and then she did it again. And I'm like, no, come on. What? And she's got a SIG, a P365. It's a good gun.
That's a good gun, yeah.
You know what she
Good
did,
thing it's
Cody?
not a P. At
She
least it's
was
not a P320. So
right. She was loading her mags on the table, and because she doesn't shoot a lot and she's inexperienced, she got a 40 cal round in the P365. I don't even know
wow,
how
did
she
it
did that.
chamber?
It didn't know. That was the problem. It
Oh,
wasn't chambering, but it wasn't leaving the magazine either all the way
Oh,
because it couldn't chamber, so I couldn't get the magazine out.
so it was
It was
like hung
completely
up.
stuck. It like
So
it
yeah, okay. So it was coming out of the magazine and it hung between the
about
magazine
it
and
would come out of the
yeah.
magazine about a quarter of the way.
How did she get it in there?
I don't
how
know, but she did
how'd
it
you get it
twice.
out? How'd you get
Did
it
you
out the
take
first
pictures
time?
of this? This is a case study. I'd need to see this. This is awesome.
Yeah, because I'm like you. I've been around a bit. I've seen a lot, and
Oh,
I'm like, I've never seen this before. And what it was, she was just, there was ammo on the table, and she was just grabbing ammo, and she didn't realize that she
okay.
had grabbed a 40. Yeah, fun
Yeah.
times at the range.
Well, you guys go out to the municipal range out there in Albuquerque. Where do you go?
No, we go to private land in Belen that's open to the public for shooting. I know the ranch manager and everything.
Oh, cool.
And you can
That's where
do
you.
long distance rifle shooting out there, everything.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
that's fun.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. So how is your gun store doing? Have you got it up and running, or how close are
No,
you?
waiting for, we're working on we had some hiccups with the architect. We're redoing the plans a little bit, and then we still got to get the permits. So it's just online stuff right now.
So
Trying to take this time to get the online stuff going.
so are you guys? What kind of license are you going to have to do that? You're going to have like a
What do you
class
mean?
3 license, like
I think I'm a class
FFL
7. I can build. We build guns as well. We do custom guns. Yeah.
class 7.
So I think I'm a class 7 manufacturing.
Okay, yeah. So that means you can have all of them,
Yep.
dude. I tell you, the thing that's amazing is I went to the gun store here, and I cannot believe how many suppressors they have up on the counters now. It's like the
Yeah.
suppressor market is going nuts.
I'm 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 hoping they just get rid of it by the time I get open. But if they don't, I'll eventually get my SOT for the suppressors as well. Yeah.
But
I think people are just hoping for all the licensing and stuff to go away, which it should.
how does an
It's-
accessory need licensing, though? That's the thing that I never could understand. It's not a gun; it's an accessory. Why is it regulated?
well, actually, the last Supreme Court case that they had just last week,
Mhm.
just like the receiver and the frame, they classified suppressors as a firearm,
Oh,
as a
really?
protected. Yeah,
I
yeah.
hadn't read that.
But
Oh, it's
but the Trump
protected.
so it's protected. That's a good thing. Um,
Yeah.
but Trump and the legislature in the big beautiful bill, they took away the tax.
Oh,
Yeah.
So you
So
don't
there's
even
no.
have to pay tax. And so people are like, well, then why are we registering it or getting it fingerprints if there's no tax anymore? Just make it
Yeah.
like a magazine. Make it like a
That was
trigger, you know?
well when they what is that? Because you need the tax stamp is what made why you need the machine guns and all. It's that same legislation that
Yeah,
they modified it to have suppressors in there, and the whole justification that the reason they could do that is because it was a tax.
right.
That's the reason it's a tax stamp. Now, if there's no tax, how can they regulate it? That's where they're coming down to.
But it's got to work its way through the courts, unfortunately.
yep.
Good thing we have a court on our side right now. And then what is it? They have a civil rights division now. It's taking on it's defending firearm stuff under the civil rights division of the DOJ.
And they needed to because all these things are unconstitutional. It just exactly what our state was doing. I mean, on the Zoom meetings in committee, the legislatures even said openly, "I know this is unconstitutional, but I'm going to vote for it anyway."
The one that got me was that old lady. That old lady goes, "My daddy was served in World War II, and when he came back from war, he refused to allow me and my brothers to go shooting. And in his memory, I'm going to vote no because if he didn't like it and he'd been to war, it's just the way it has to be." And it's just like, your justification is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Yeah,
But
yeah.
they need to be held accountable for that because they're breaking the law at that point.
Yeah, they are.
They're openly breaking Supreme. They know it's going to be immediately overturned, but they just want to tie up court time.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like this.
Another one of the many reasons why I'm running.
Well, yeah, it's just and then like the whole like waiting period. They've already struck it down. Why is it not? Why is it still being in effect? You know?
Because the higher court said it was unconstitutional, and sent it to the first judge to fix it. And
Mhm.
until the first judge fixes it, it's in effect. Well, guess what? There's no timeline for that first judge to fix it. So when do you think they're going to fix it?
Never.
Never.
Never. As long as, yeah. So here we
Because it's
are.
been over a
waiting
year.
7 days. Yeah.
What we need to do is have that sacrificial lamb to go out there and just do it and hand it across the counter and get caught so we can take it to court.
Here's the problem with that, though, is I'll tell you right now, when they made the law, they didn't put any way for enforcing it. So the law's never been enforced. There's no enforcement. No one cares. No one's looking. The problem is, as a gun store, as an FFL, if I don't comply with the 7-day waiting period and someone goes out and commits suicide or harms themselves, it's not the criminal that I'm worried about. They're going to sue. They're going to sue and win for everything because I broke the law. That's why gun stores like me are still going along with the 7-day, because we just can't afford legally. If something like that happens, we would not survive.
Well, yeah, because it's like people ask me, why'd you stop doing all this crazy stuff in cars? Well, it's my livelihood. You know, I have I have a CDL. I can't go out and do all this stuff because, one, it costs $8,000 to get a driver's license. To get that, and I can't afford to lose it, and I can't afford to get it back. And that's the same thing that got you on it. You can't afford to lose it because it's your job, your livelihood, and you know the expense of getting it back.
But as far as criminally goes, no one's enforcing that law. No one cares. No one's looking. No one's enforcing it. But it's going to be if we get caught, it would be a civil thing.
Yeah, kind of like they did with the Diesel Brothers and the Clean Air Act and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, we've hit the 2-hour mark, and I think we've got enough out there.
All right.
What do you think, Corey?
Yeah, make sure that you go to Chris Crane's site, his gun store, go to his podcast.
It's Crane. It's craneguns.com.
And then the big gun.
And it's at the Big Guns Podcast on YouTube. But you can also go to craneguns.com, and we have a podcast drop-down window, and all the podcasts are on craneguns.com as well.
Okay.
There we go.
There you go. So we'll put all links to all that. And, you know, Chris, I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to come over here and talk to a couple crazy guys like us.
Look forward to it. Love it, man. Had a great time.
Yeah, maybe one of these days, Corey will become an expert enough to get invited onto your podcast. So
or not.
No, he'll be on. We'll have him on.
Oh, and look for Corey. He was on what was that other podcast you run?
Chili Wire. Just did that podcast this morning, and comes out I think tomorrow ish. Yeah. So that's gonna drop, and that was fun time with Abe, and had a blast with him. And that guy is smart. That guy knows his stuff, and it was great spending time with him and his producer, and meeting all the people also that help run their whole thing. And that was pretty cool. Got to see behind the scenes, which that doesn't happen very often.
Did you drop the
I'm grateful
podcast?
Huh?
Did you drop our? Did you drop our podcast on there while you were there?
Why would I do that?
Cross promotion, dude, man. Some people's children, I'm telling you.
Hey, Corey.
I'm not yours.
Corey, did you happen to get a mention of our healthcare bill in there?
Yep.
Nice. Right on. What was their reaction?
Oh, they liked it. Yeah.
Awesome.
And I can't wait till to hear the reaction from when they post it and what people are going to say.
Yeah. Awesome.
So this comes out on Thursday, so it'll have come out. When does it come out? On Wednesday?
Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah, so it came out
Tomorrow-ish.
yesterday. So look for it, and the links will be all this stuff will be in the description.
Okay. Yeah. And
So-
then look forward to the next podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the channel. Don't forget to miss out on the merch that Cody's been building out. Don't hate witches. You know, that's a hot item. And
Rage
then
Day
go
Therapy.
hit up
Yeah.
Chris Crane and his site and buy guns. Yeah. And we'll see you guys later.
And thanks for coming down the rabbit hole.